What's going on, billionaires? Today I'll be doing a back test on a couple different pairs. I've strictly been trading GJ for the past maybe 4 or 5 months. And man, GJ is clean. It's clean. I'm getting down the works, the moves of GJ, different things that it does. So today I'm going to be taking a look at GJ as well as a couple other pairs to just apply my analysis and my strategy to those pairs while I'm back testing. So let's get into it. I'm going to start off with GJ, and then we'll go from there. So what I want to do with GJ is just kind of look at what's happening now. Because of the fact that I have been trading it for the past 5-6 months, I know what price has been doing for the past 5-6 months. So for me to retest market as it was doing these things that I've already traded, right? I've already actively traded this market, have been analyzing it along the way. I don't feel as though it would be too helpful, which is why I'm going to go ahead and get into a couple other pairs. But I do want to start here with just what GJ is doing. Currently, I won't get too deep into it because I will be posting the analysis tomorrow for GJ and what's to come for the next week. So I'll give a quick 1-2 of my analysis, what's going on here, and then we'll move into the next couple pairs that I want to look at. So on GJ, we do see this kind of head and shoulders pattern was forming here, and price did come down and retest into this weekly zone that I have marked in that I was looking for price to retest. So bounced off of here, and then we can see this price started to head up, right? Notice here how price broke back above this line here, right? Which was our head and shoulders retest, okay? Which was our head and shoulders neckline. All right, so price did break that level and then started to push back up. Once we drop our time frames, right, we can see that, and I already started to mark this up a little bit. I am going to get rid of these markups. This was a clean move on Friday. Tapped into it and then started to bounce up. So I'm gonna get rid of this. That's a cool 300 pips. If you know, you know. All right, well, we did see this price come down here, broke this neckline, and it broke back above our neckline, right? Which tells me that, you know, I don't know if price is going to continue moving down. For price to have continued moving down, we wanted to see a retest here and then this to fall off. Now, we did see price come back up here late Friday, tested this line, but we can see this price looks pretty bullish. We got a strong bullish engulfing here, another one here, and then another bullish engulfing here. So I'm curious to see if this price holds and just continues to move up, right? As far as the back test, just looking at this price, I don't typically use trend lines, but I did draw in this trend line here just to see kind of how it moves. Shout out to Cash On. He uses trend lines. So I'm like, let me see. I'm gonna just throw them in and see how it's looking. And we can see that this price here, this price was in this downtrend, right? We got high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high. As far as this trend, but we can see that this trend here of this down, this market movement to the downside was broken and retested, right? We see this double bottom held right on top of this downtrend trend line, right? And then we're starting to see price move to the upside. So moving into this week, being that our higher time frames are for sure in the uptrend, right? We could take a look at our weekly. And I already got this drawn in, right? Double bottom. Hold up. We got this overall double bottom, and we got the double bottom inside of the double bottom, right? So just looking at this smaller one, boom, 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 this price should be heading up, right? So what I was looking for, this white box that I have drawn in here, right, was this neckline of this double bottom. We can see price broke it, came back to retest it, and now this price should be continuing with its right side, strong side to the upside. Right side, strong side to the upside. All right, so I'm curious to see what the month looks like. Okay. So we got some wicks forming here, right? Wicks up and then wick coming down. So we still got 10 days left on the month. So we're gonna have to wait and see how that plays out. Moving into the new week though, I'm gonna be waiting to see how this plays out, right? If price wants to continue moving up or if it wants to come down. If price wants to move to the upside, honestly speaking, I would want to see a break of this lower high that was created over here, right? That's the for sure sign to us that this price is gonna, continuous move to the upside. So I'm gonna draw that in. That's about 160 pips. That's clean. That's clean. Then if price wants to come down, I'm gonna be waiting for all right, so my break of structure is gonna be down here, right at our low, right? If price breaks this low, I'm looking for this price to continue down. Honestly, if it continues down though, I'm looking for 156.6. I'm not really looking for price to go too much lower than this level here. But again, like I said, if price does want to continue this move to the upside, I just want to change this line out as far as my system, right? This yellow line is going to show me a continuation. So if we break above this yellow line, I'm looking for price to go up. I will get rid of this one just because that's kind of in the way. Markup looks crazy. Get rid of that. Try to keep my charts as clean as possible. As I'm going through this, right? So that's what we're gonna be looking at for GJ. Now I want to go ahead and get into a couple of the other pairs and see what they looking like. Actually start doing some back tests, right? So a pair that I used to trade is EU. EU used to be my baby, honestly. I haven't traded it in a minute, right? Because I have been trading GJ. I think it's important to find a specific pair that you want to trade and just trade that pair until you get the strategy down, right? Because that's how you learn, right? That's how you're going to learn, the ins and out. Analogy that I use is like, it's like having, a girlfriend or a significant other, right? You look at it and you got 3-4 of them. It's hard to keep up, right? You got to know when they eat, when they sleep, when they moving, when they active, like all these different things. And it's the same thing with trading forex or currency, whatever you're trading, right? You want to pick one thing, learn their routine, learn their movements, and then move on to the next pair once you've grasped the concepts and the fundamentals of things, right? So I've been focusing on GJ, but EU is definitely a pair that I have traded in the past. So I just want to take a look at it and back test this a little bit. So last week, I actually did come in here and clean up this markup a little bit. Had this marked in, and this last leg here was the leg that I drew. And as we can see, this did play out, right? This price did play out as it bounced up. But what I want to do is go ahead and just backtrack a little bit and look at some of these moves a little further back. This here, I'm not a fan of that. I was just looking at it off rip. I don't really like this choppiness here. But what I'm going to do for the retest, I'm just going to go ahead and start the replay. And I'm going to close my eyes and just drop a line somewhere. And we'll see where it stops me. And then from here, I'm just going to retest this price. All right, so first thing I'll do is come in here and mark up what I have, what we can see what's going on as far as this price here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my zones in here. So the zones I'm drawing in right now are just going to be above and below current price. Okay, so those are daily zones, and then go ahead and draw in 4 hours, and then I'm going to start to analyze this market and what it's doing. So 4 hour, same thing. I want one above, one below. So price is here, this blue line. So my below would be here, like this. And I try to keep things color coordinated just because it helps when it comes to, you know, knowing exactly what you're looking at, knowing the different strengths of the different levels, all of that good stuff. So I got one below. I actually want to use this lowest point here. So I'm gonna adjust this a little bit. Right, so we got one below. And I'm gonna put one above this price that's currently at. Because as we can see, where I dropped this line at, we can see this price appears to be creating some sort of double bottom, right? So let's just mark this in. All right, and now once we have these levels marked in, what I want to do is go ahead and just begin analyzing, right? Marking up where my price is at currently, and moving from there, right? So I want to identify my high and my low, and I typically do this on my hour time frame, right? But looking at this, we can see our structures, right? So before we drop to our hour, we're gonna go ahead and draw in our 4 hour structure, right? As we can see, this price is currently in the downtrend. We got high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, low, right? And again, like I said, we can see this price here appears to be creating some sort of double bottom, right? So I'm gonna just drop to my hour time frame and take a look. If price allows me to keep seeing this. Ooh, I don't like that. What happened? So sometimes with this replay, it doesn't let you see too far back. I hate that for you. All right, we're gonna have to dang, we're gonna have to we're gonna do it again. We're gonna do it again. And let's see where we can't go too far. Yeah, because this we was at over here, and once I drop to the hour, this is gonna be too far back for price, right? So I'm gonna do it again. Close my eyes, and I'm gonna just pick an area. Same kind of thing though, right? We still see EU making this double bottom type of formation pattern. So what I'm gonna do, same thing. I'm just come in and draw in my zones. So this price here, if you can see, this probably looks a little bit strange. These candles, they don't really have any wicks, right? I believe that's because this price is so far back, so they're not giving me all the data on this current price. So we have that. And I can get rid of this stuff. Right, so this black one is the one I just drew in for my current daily. As we can see, this price here held up pretty well. We can see it tapped in here, boom, boom, tapped again into the same level, tapped in another time, broke a little lower, and then found support again inside of here. So I like the way that looks. What I'm going to do next is go ahead and draw in a daily above my current price. So I typically would use this wick. Okay, I'm going to use this wick. And then we'll drop time frames, and I'll point out the other level that I'm looking at. I'm not sure why that's doing that, but I actually want to extend this. Right, and when it comes to doing your markups, right, you can move things around. Just because you place on one time don't mean it gotta stay there, right? If you see something else, if your eye catches something else, it's perfectly fine to go ahead and to adjust, right? So I just had this zone marked in here, but I came and I switched it to over here because I seen that this was a zone that this level actually respected, right? So this was the original, and we can see this one came in and tapped into that level, right? So I'm gonna keep those as my dailies, and then I will go ahead and drop time frame, and let's draw in our 4 hours. So this here on our daily was a wick, right? What we can see here on our 4 hours that this candle pushed up and it came back down. To me, this looks like a liquidity grab. Fake push to the upside and then price dropped off. Looking at this, I'm curious if there was any news on this day. But yeah, this was in 2016 or November. Yeah, 2016. Wow. All right, so I'm gonna just use this as a 4 hour zone. And I'll mark that in as a 4 hour zone. Hopefully they allow me to continue dropping to my hour. I don't know why these extra lines are forming around my boxes. Get out of here. I just want to make this orange to show us my 4 hour. And honestly, I could even extend this to this breakout if I wanted to. So I'm gonna do that just to see how that reacts off of this these candles that were formed over here. Again, this is us back testing, so it's okay to move things around. I'm just trying to get a feel for this pair. I haven't traded this pair at all in a while. Looking at this, I'm just trying to get a feel for the different reactions that price can have to these different things that I'm adding here, these different markups, and see what works best for this pair specifically. So I am going to keep this full zone here and see how it reacts. And what I'll do is I'll also put one in here just to see, right, which one reacts better. Okay, so we got the exact one, and then we have the one of this entire impulse or fake out to the upside. All right, so I have one above price. Okay, and then I also want to put one below price. And I'll throw that in here. As well as here, right? Because I can see that this price is actually inside of this current zone right now. And there was a nice wick formed there, so I definitely want to highlight this as well. all right, as this price is looking to move to the upside. So looking at this price, what I can see is price does appear to have found some support. Boom, boom, boom at this level, and looks to be moving to the upside. So let's zoom in, let's drop time frames a little bit and take a look at what's happening here. Real quick, just looking at this price, I want to get rid of this zone here. And the reason that I say I want to get rid of this zone is because it doesn't appear to be too relevant to price and where it's at currently, right? So looking at this, we want our zones to point us in the direction of where market is going, right? So if I have this price buying, right? If I have price buying, I want to know where my supply zones are. And as you can see, this price did break a high here and is moving to the upside, right? So I want to mainly pay attention to these supply zones, right? Or these areas where market could potentially sell off at. And then once market starts selling, if it does start selling, then I'll go ahead and draw these demand zones in. So I want to get rid of this 4-hour one. I will keep the daily because these zones do give us a range to kind of work between. And then let's just take a look at this and what's happening here. All right, so on our 4-hour, we have price currently trending to the upside, which is what I typically want to pay attention to. Here we can see our entire structure, right? High, low, high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, higher low, and this price is actually turning to make a higher high. So what this appears to be is a reversal, right, or a flip of this trend here, right? But I still like to highlight my 4-hour structure, right, which was in a downtrend and appears to be flipping into an uptrend. And then I just want to trade or look for trades in each of these line moves here. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna zoom in. And now our trend currently is an uptrend, right? This is the trend that we will be looking to trade. So I'm gonna drop to my hour. Let's hope that it holds. I love that for you, right? Love to see it. So real quick, just looking at our structure, right? We had high, low, lower high, higher low, higher high. I'm gonna put this in a green box potentially if it doesn't look too crazy. Okay, and this green box is going to show that price is currently trending up, right? So I'm only looking for buys here. What I also want to have here is our neckline. Let's go back real quick. So looking at this pattern here, I'm going to consider this a head and shoulders inverted, right? Inverted head and shoulders, high, low, lower high, lower low, high, higher low, continuation up, right? So whenever I see these reversal patterns, I like to go ahead and draw in, our neckline. So the way I'm gonna do that here is just by connecting these highest wicks that were created. I can't for the life of me understand why this keeps dropping random lines on my chart. So we got this inverted here. neckline drawn in, and then we zoom in over here, we can actually see that this price did break and retest this neckline. Right, zooming into our hour, because this is where we're actually going to be looking to take trades at, right? And I can get rid of this again. We can see here that this price is trending up. We got low, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high. This higher high here broke this neckline, retested, then we got some bullish engulfings, and this price began to move to the upside. This bullish engulfing happened at 3 a.m. I'm curious to see where 9 a.m. is around this time, right? Because that's typically where EU begins to move. This here is 9 a.m. So we got a little bit of a pullback before continuing around 4 or 5. Honestly, I would not have looked to take this move just for the fact that that would not be a time that I would typically be trading. But let's see. Let's play this out a little bit and see what we get. Over here. Even this alone, right, when it comes to backtesting, just drawing in your markups, seeing where everything works, and even seeing this here, right, this break and the retest of this trend line gives me the okay that this is a clean markup, right? And this is the kind of things that we want to pay attention to when we're doing markups. Something that I want to point out is the rejections off of these zones, right? Rejected here, we see this rejection here, right? That caused this actual retest, and then price went ahead and broke up into this zone. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and play this price out. See what we're looking at. Before we do that, I want to draw in my 1 hour structure, right, that we see forming here. And this is what I will be looking to trade, right? Is this uptrend as it's happening here. All right, but I'm going to go ahead, push play, and let's see what we get. Okay, so this price here appears this was a high that we saw here. It looks like it began to pull back. And then what I can see from just what I'm looking at is this bullish engulfing that was created here. So as this price is in an uptrend, what I'm looking for to happen is we want to see this price moving a downtrend, right, or pull back, which we do see here. We see this pullback happening here. And then I want to see a break of this pullback, right? So what I will be looking for is a break of, you know, one of my highs as this price was pulling back, which we can see about here. Nice bullish engulfing, and let's see if this price is going to continue moving up. And this is at 9 a.m. on EU. So this is a trade that I would potentially look to take in this market. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw that in. We do see a break of this level here. Typically, you will want to see some sort of retest. And man, EU, I love this, right? Because GJ, this on GJ, this right here is a good, like, probably like 50, 60 pips. Looking at this on EU, 25 pip stop, right? And that's my roundabout area that I'm looking for stops to be anyway. So what I'm doing now is trying to figure out where I want to place my target. This is about a 200 pip move. Again, still filling out GJ, still trying to EU, thinking of or trying to analyze how many pips it moves typically. This was, again, if this was GJ, 190 pips is not crazy, right? It makes sense for GJ. GJ on a, maybe once a week might give you a good 190 pip move, right? But when we're looking at different pairs, again, like I was saying before, it's important to start to understand each pair for what it is, different moves that it makes, how it moves, and all that good stuff, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and draw in some zones as to where I could be looking for some targets here. I'm gonna draw in one here, and these are our zones. Okay, my price is currently here. From what I remember, GJ is good for a good 30 pips, and that's a good 63. So let's see. Let's see what we get here. I'm gonna put my target to that high. First target is gonna be at my previous high. Second target is gonna be at this zone. So full length of the move is about 60 pips. What I'll do here also is adjust my stop a little bit, right? We can see these last wicks that were created here are a little bit higher up. So I'm gonna move this up a little bit, and I'm gonna give us a cool 20 pip stop. Right now, as you can see, we have a good 1-to-3 ratio, which is my ideal move. And let's see how this plays out. Real quick. I'm gonna draw in my first target, which is going to be here at my previous high. Right, this is my previous high here. So that's going to be my target 1. And then my second target is up here. First target is about almost half, almost 30 pips. We got a good 26 pips. But let's see what we get here. Let's let this play out. Ooh. Okay. Now let's look at this. This is why we backtest, right? This is why we backtest. Looking at this, what I want to look at quick is our 4-hour, right? Okay, so as we can see, right, our 4-hour broke above this zone, right, and then broke back into this zone. So looking at this price, we can see this price was pretty high up here for it to be retesting. So that's something to keep in our minds, right? Our 4-hour time frames. So we can see this price pushed up and then began to pull back. So let's take a look. So now I'm still going to be looking at the same thing, right? But as we can see, this price is trending to the upside. Follow me here, follow me, right? This is why we backtest. Looking at this price, that we can see this price was pretty high, right? We have high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And this price was already on its way to make a new high. So taking a buy up here potentially wasn't the best move, especially before seeing a nice higher time frame retest. So let's go ahead and allow this to continue playing out, see what it does before we, look for some more positions. Let's take a look. Okay, so what we see now, excuse me, what we're looking at now, okay, I'm going to move this arrow here, and we can see of this uptrend that we had price creating, our last low was over here. Okay, our last low was over here, and we can see this price is breaking this low, appears to have broken. This appears to be a retest happening here. I'm going to drop time frame to see what that's looking like. And if we get a break of this low, this is a move that I would take. All right, if we get a break of this low, showing the continuation, I would take this move for a sell-off. Let's see. Again, as I'm going through this, I'm learning this pair, right? I'm trying to figure out the moves and the process of this pair with applying my system. So let's see what we get here. This is like 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. EST. I will go ahead and play, see what we get. Okay, so now we can see a break of this level. We might get a retest. Boom, I'm taking that right there. Once we saw, and this is 8 o'clock, right? So 7, 8 a.m. We can see this here. This bearish engulfing here would have been the move that I took. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw that in, as well as my targets and everything else. So here we saw a break of this lower level. Price broke, came back to retest, bearish engulf, and now it's on its way headed down. So this would have been here. We could even use this low. And we can see that price retested that very cleanly before starting this move to the downside. So let's give this, jeez, I love like 15 pips. Shit me. I love it. I love to see it. And then as far as targets, we got a nice hour over here. The only thing, the stops are shorter, but the targets are shorter as well, which don't really ring too many crazy bells for me. But let me get rid of this. Like next target would be, this target is a good 20 pips. I ain't really going for 20 pips. Next target is 111 pips. This is a nice clean candle that we got over here as well. So let's see if we can get that break. I'm also going to draw on the zone based off of this wick here. And let's see what we get. All right, so what we can see here, price went through our first target, which would have been the top of this zone. I can go ahead and draw them in for y'all. Would have been the top of this zone. As well as this one. Target would have been about here. Third target would have been down here, 110 pips. So here, this was a cool 33 pips. On EU, 30 pips was definitely that target that we were shooting for. 30 pips on the day. Quick thing. What I did like about trading EU when I did trade it is the 30 pips. So depending on what kind of trader you are, 30 pips and out could be a good strategy, right? Catch your 30 pips, up your lots, all that good stuff, and keep it pushing for the day. Trading those 30 pips was valid for me when I was trading EU. Catch your pips and get out. But let's see if this price continues. Right now, we're at 12 o'clock. So is this the next day? Yeah, this is the next day. So here we could potentially get a whole new setup. Let's see what we're looking at. I want to see this price around 6 o'clock a.m. So I'm gonna draw that line in there. Let's see where this price goes. All right, so this is 6 a.m. Session starts at 9 a.m. Right, so looking at this price here, I will probably come in and draw in new zones. Right, so continuation of price would be this break here. Break of structure would be this high here. Excuse me, I'm all over the place. And then let's see what we get. Okay, so this here appears to be a bit of a range, right? Now we can see these candles kind of moving between these two zones, right? I first noticed it once we saw this wick, right? This nice wick right to the top of this high. They came in wicks low and now appears to be possibly attempting to move to the upside. So I'm paying attention here to what happens. We could be breaking up. At this point though, seeing this move sideways, I would have closed out, take my positions. After seeing this wick up and then this wick down, I would have closed my position here, securing about 82 pips. That's still a cool 1 to 5 ratio. That's clean. I'll take it. Right. So I'm gonna go ahead and close that in right around there. And then let's continue on to see what else we get. Notice how price is holding resistance at this level, right? So this is definitely a ranging market. We can see this market is moving sideways. Let's let it keep playing out. Attempting to break higher, attempting to break lower, fake out, still ranging. Oh, broke lower, fake out, broke back above. Like I would not want to be in this market holding this trade. We could potentially still tap into our target, but not a fan of the way that this market is moving at all. And there it goes, target hit. Our original target was hit after playing around here for so long. One of the things I'm gonna be paying attention to, if I do decide to pick back up on EU, is that type of ranging market. Never want to get caught in those ranging or consolidated markets. Yeah, that's what we're looking at on EU. So what I want to do now is set up one more new position for EU, and then see where we want to go from there. So let me get rid of all of these zones. And as we do this here, I want to see how this reacts, because again, we do still have this daily zone down here. That price looks like it's actually starting to push through this level. What I want to do is take a look at our daily, see the momentum and strength, right? So now here we do see a nice strong bearish candle tapping into this daily level. So I'm curious to see how that reacts. So let's go back to our 4 hour. I'm gonna keep these setups on here. This is gonna be my last one that I'm gonna do for the day. Let's see where we go for the day. Out of 3, right now we 1 for 1. We 1 and 1, or no, we 1 for 2. Right, we 1 for 2. Now I'm gonna just keep moving with this price as it's moving. This box now, as we can see, I had this green box here, but then we saw this breakup structure, and now this price is moving down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move this box over, and I'm gonna make it red. What I do see, right? If I click this on, I have my I believe this is a DMI. What is this? I apologize because I don't even know what. I believe this is a DMI, right? Directional moving average or index. As you can see, this price is pretty low, right? So at some point, this price wants to come up and find find support and then start to move to the upside, right? But as we see right now, this price is still, you know, got some range to move to the downside. So what I'm paying attention to as this price is moving down, let's go ahead and drop time frames and highlight our hour downtrend. So we could say high, low, lower high. Price right now is moving to make a lower low, right? So let's adjust our lines. I'm gonna keep this here. I'm gonna keep this continuation here because there was no clear definite highs or lows made here. So continuation, I'm gonna keep this as a continuation, and then our break of structure, we're gonna say, is here as well. Okay, so this continuation to the downside is the break and retest, which we actually did see here. All right, price broke below this line, retested, bearish engulfing, and started to move down. So what time was this bearish engulfing created? At 2 a.m., right? So that's London session or pre-London session as this price is moving down. Again, what I want to pay attention to is, let's say 6 a.m. which was actually here, right before this retest back up into here, and then price started to fall off. If you had a limit set here for this fall off, that's your 30 pips for the day, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna mark in 6 a.m. again prior to, why is this 7? Okay, so this is the weekend. All right, so this would be a Monday or Monday morning, 6 a.m. All right, so we're gonna see how this plays out. Let's go ahead and let it keep going. And then around 6 a.m., that's where I want to go ahead and start to analyze and draw in my structures of what price is giving me. All right, so I'm going to take these levels here. Continuation would be the break of this low. Move to the upside will be a break of this high. And let's see what we get. Boom. Oh my geez, right? Bullish engulfing right off of this support. Pushed up. We got this nice retest here. I would have taken this buy up potentially, right? But what we do see is this price is in a overall downtrend, right? So whether you take this buy or not, maybe a little bit tricky. This is going to be an area that you want to pay attention to. But what I will do is come to my higher time frame and see what this price is telling me. Right, so we got a nice bearish candle here on our daily. Price is still selling. All right, then we come to our 4 hour. I love that this is a bullish engulfing on our 4 hour, right? Because 4 hours is a pretty strong time frame, right? So this is the bottom of a swing, right? We got our swing low here, and we can see this price is beginning to move to the upside. So cautiously, this is a trade that I will potentially take. What I'm gonna do is go ahead and draw in zones here. This is a crazy wick that I want to highlight, as well as our high that was created over here. All right. So target will be at the bottom of that zone. Let's drop back to our hour. And honestly, with the wick of this candle, right, you could honestly put your stop right below that wick, because that will be your retest wick. So that's about 10 pips stop. Let's see what we get. So I would say this price at this point is about to start coming down again, right? So again, we had this price in a downtrend, right? Price did start to move up. And all this would be is price going from a low to a lower high, right? Which is why we can see this price was pretty sketchy as it was moving to the upside, okay? But this price did come up, almost tapped our target. We see 30 pips. Again, if you're going for your 30 pips, 30 pip target would have been hit. And then we can start to see this price as it was moving up, broke, and appears to be potentially moving back down to possibly find some support again off of this level before moving up. All right, so I know I said that was gonna be my last one, but I'm kind of curious to see how this price continues to play out. 6 a.m. is here. I'm gonna do two more. 20 pip stop, you would have just about hit your target. And being that this was a counter trend, it is a smart idea to give your stop a little bit more space, being that this is normally the sketchy move. Again, all of these, I'm back testing, right? So all of these things are things that I'm keeping in mind as well as I'm going through this. But let's see, we got new 6 a.m. time frame here. Let's see if we consider this price to have broken this uptrend, right, or this counter trend that was happening here. The break of that low would be about here. And if this price wants to continue moving up, I'm gonna be looking at, this previous high that was left over here. So let's go ahead, play it out, and see what happens. Okay, so we see a break below, potential retest, and now I want to see this continue down. Oh, okay. So this is what we're looking at, right? Then we got this retested this line here, and now it's breaking up. Now it's breaking up, right? As we saw though on our higher time frames, was that this price had reached a low. Right, and wanted to start moving back up. And then we see this nice, strong, bullish move to the upside. Looking at EU, I don't know. I don't know. It's definitely going to be one that's going to take some time to get used to. Got to get back into the flow of it, or to figure out its patterns, right? Everything that's going on with it. But like I said, I will continue this last one, and then we'll see what we get, and we'll move from there. Right. So I don't think. So this one moved pretty quickly. So didn't even take a position here, because of the fact that this price, the way that this price was moving, this happened in an hour. So not really too much chance to actually execute on this, unless of course we could have dropped maybe time frames and saw more of what was happening. Where did we just come from? Because the replay threw me off again. All right, well, that's gonna wrap it up. I don't know where we left off. But those were just a couple of trades. Looking at EU, some back testing. I'm probably going to do some more back testing off of this, just to kind of keep playing with EU a little bit for the next couple of weeks. I probably will be following EU. So there's a good chance that I might be dropping my analysis, but take on with a grain of salt, right? As I am just starting to try and figure out this pair, if this is another pair that I want to look at. Something else I'll probably potentially be looking at is gold. Gold is a pair that I've traded a little bit as well. So I'm curious to see what gold's doing. Right now it's, what's today's date? It's, I don't even know, May 21st or 2nd. So we're headed into those stronger months of the year. So be on the lookout for, you know, different things that's happening inside of the market. Different trends, right? Market looking to pick up some nice trends in the market, or price to pick up some nice trends in the market. That's what I'm looking at. Hope this video, you know, gave y'all a little bit on how to retest, things to look out for when retesting, practicing your system, whatever it may be. Hope this was able to add some value for y'all. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment, let me know what y'all thought. If y'all want to see some more videos of me back testing, if y'all want to see some more analysis, if y'all want to see some pro tips, if y'all want to see some markups, lot trading, all that good stuff, let me know what y'all want to see here. And I will be sure to take it into consideration. Just let me know. And then I'll catch y'all on the next video. Love.